Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, I talk about setting goals quite often. However, it's not for the reason that most people think. You see, it's not about all the money, all the recognition, or all the great stuff you're going to get to do. What's important is who you become in the process of reaching your goal. Because you see, when you pursue the right goals, you become wiser, happier, better, and a much more interesting person. You know, it also puts you in a position where you can help more people. And that, in my opinion, is what really matters. You see, so often people will ask me, Doug, how do I set the right goal? Once I decide what I want, how do I know I can reach it? Or is there a blueprint I can follow to achieve my goals? So today I'm going to take you through some steps you must take to create and achieve goals that are worthy of you. Okay, and first I just want to be clear that before I share this blueprint with you, I want you to understand that goal creation is an art. It's a creative process, okay? And the definition of creation is simply the manipulation of energy. You know, you're causing one type of energy to move to another type of energy. Or, think about this for a second. You know, everything that you see around you right now at one point of time was just mental energy. It was an idea in somebody's head. They then took action and transferred that mental energy into physical form by creating the physical items you see around you today. So you see, that's really amazing because with goal creation, there's certain progressive steps that I'm going to recommend you take that will allow you to move energy in a direction it may never have shifted before you came along. You see, if you miss any of these steps I'm recommending, nothing is going to happen. And in my opinion, that's where 97% of our population lives. They live in that nothing happens space. So how do we get started? Well, step one, decide where you're going. You know, most people spend their whole life barely achieving even little goals because they start with where they currently are today. You know, and unlike what you may think or have been taught, you have to start where you're finishing. You know, and to do that, you must think about what you really want, where you honestly want to end up. You know, you have to get your mind into a proper state before you can come up with that really big goal. And how do we get there? Well, the first step, in my opinion, is to believe in make-believe. You see, that requires you to use your mind and your imagination, which permits you to take your mind to the proper state I'm talking about and create what you would believe is a big dream or a big goal. So let your imagination go. Do me a favor, get a pencil and paper. I want you to write a detailed description of everything you'd like to be, do, and have, okay? And when you write that great big description out, and it can't be too big, take some time to do that and write every single little detail of everything you want to be, do, or have in your life. You know, the next step will be to think a little bit more about who you are as an individual. You know, this is really important because it's a well-known fact that a high percentage of our population today knows very little about themselves. People don't take the time to sit down and think, who am I? You know, and it's because they live in this ignorant state regarding who they are and the infinite potential that they possess. Because remember, you are God's highest form of creation. There never has been, nor will there ever be another you. You have unique gifts, and only you have the ability to share those gifts with the world. And that's really important, you know, but don't take my word for it. I want you to think what you know about yourself right now. Just think about it for a second. If someone asked you who you are, how would you answer? Well, I tell you what, most people would probably just give their name. I'd say, hi, I'm Doug, you know, but you're not your name. And you're not your body. You know, some people, when asked that question, will point to their body and say, well, this is me. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not your body either. You don't say, I am hand or I am arm. You say, my hand and my arm. You're not a hand. You have a hand. You see, you're also not the results you're getting, and you're also not your past. Many people permit their current circumstances and their past to be duplicated in the future. And the truth is, you are pure, unadulterated spirit. You are God's highest form of creation. You are a necessary part of all that is. There is not now, there has never been, and there never will be another expression of life exactly like you. You see, with you, all things are possible. There's a billion people on this planet, and I'm going to tell you what, not a single one of them has the ability to be you. And you have unique and amazing gifts within you. So think about this. No one has the ability to share your gifts. Only you can do that. And you have an obligation as God's highest form of creation to share the amazingness within you with the world, to take chances, and to attempt to build your dreams. And I want to tell you that we have no idea how the universe would need to be manipulated, what needs to happen on Earth in order for everything to come into alignment for you to have what it is that you want. But I tell you what, people around you are going to need to take action. Things will need to change in the world in some ways in order for you to get what it is you want. When you take action, you change the world in ways that may make it possible for somebody else to realize their goals and dreams. So when you're out there taking action and attempting to build your dreams, you're not only doing yourself a favor, you may be helping many other people get to where they want to be as well. Think about that. With you, all things are possible. Now, step 3, I want you to get honest about where you are right now. And we have to know this for reasons. Think about this. If we're to be successful in setting and reaching our goals, there's 2 pieces of information I think we need to have. The first is, where do we want to go? And we're addressing that in step 1, right? The next thing we need to know is where we are today. And along with those pieces of information, there's just a few principles that I believe you need to weld into your personality. Integrity is one of these principles. And to me, integrity means honesty and truth. It was put by William Shakespeare in the famous line in Hamlet, where Polonius said, and this above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day. And thou canst be false to any man. I'm not a great reciter of Shakespeare, but I do know success and the principles it takes to get things done. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're true to yourself, you cannot be false to anyone else. And if our word to live by is integrity, we have what we need in a pinch. And we're respected where we go because we're honest. And this kind of truth is essential if you want to establish where you are now honestly. And here's why. Because if you're not completely honest with where you are today, it won't matter where you want to go because you won't know in which direction to start moving or what changes you're going to need to make in order to get to your goal. Now, the next thing I want you to do is make your critical choice, okay? Remember that you're God's highest form of creation. You can achieve any goal you choose, any goal. So it's critical that you pick a goal that you seriously want. And before you make that choice, look over the description of the images your imagination presented to you as you were writing out all the description of all the things it is you want in your life, you want to be, or you want to do. Then I want you to pick one thing you want more than any of the others. And, one of the greatest things that's happened in my life is that I become aware that when I choose something I seriously want and make an irrevocable decision coupled with a firm commitment to follow the direction that I decided to take to get to that goal, something beautiful happens. In a given time, that will be determined. I will enjoy in my material world the physical replica of what my imagination first presented to me in my consciousness. And you know what? It works here, and then it works here. It does for me. It does for the people I know and love and care about. You know what? I love and care about you as well. You're one of those people. You're in the circle. I want you to know right now, anything you imagine, anything you believe that you should have in your life in order to make this life the best it can possibly be, you can have. You can do it. You can accomplish it. You know, you might have to pay a little bit of price because, you know, everything that was ever created by humans began in the form of a fantasy, right? It was an idea. It came from somebody's imagination. And it's essential that you take time to crystallize the image of whatever it is that you've selected for your goal, and then paint that image in words so crystal clear that a child would understand it, okay? And once you complete that picture down to the last detail, you must answer in the affirmative the following 2 questions before your fantasy truly qualifies as a goal. You have to ask yourself, am I able to cause this image to move into form? And am I willing to pay the price that must be paid to turn this image into physical form? Now, you're going to have to commit next, you know, and although it may take time to get through all the steps that where you need to decide what goal you're going to do, and then how that you have to write out a description that's crystal clear so a child can understand it. Once you get through all of that, you know, then you're going to need to commit to making that idea a reality. And you've got to go where you've never gone before, and that's it. You know, you take these steps. This is your blueprint for turning your goals into reality. Once you commit, take action. And take action every day. Follow the principles and the recommendations I've been made as you move down the path towards your goals. You know, and now that you know how to make your goals a reality and how to take the steps in order to bring goals and success into your life, what do you plan to do? You know, what changes will you make as a result of what I've just taught you? You know, one of the most basic and dynamic laws of life is create or disintegrate. You know, and every expression of life is constantly moving in one direction or the other. Either you're improving the quality of your life or you're reducing it. And you know, the choice is yours. It's a decision that only you can make. And the sad truth is that these decisions are generally unconsciously made. And when that happens, the person is generally going in the wrong direction. You know, goals are essential to living a creative life. So I hope you'll use this process that I'm recommending here. And I'm just recommending. I'm getting you thinking. Use the ideas that I'm recommending. Try them out for a week or two and see what happens. You know what? Beautiful things are going to happen. Because when people set goals and have something to work towards every day, it just expresses their life in the most beautiful way and in the most incredible fashion. And you know, use these processes, exercise your imagination and your will as a conscious and deliberate action, okay? And then this is going to take you out of the ordinary and propel you into the extraordinary. That's what I'm saying. And this is part of the divine plan for you as a spiritual being. You know, God created life so we would express life. Life is for expansion. I believe in you and I believe in your abilities to expand your life. When you set a goal, no matter what that goal is, if you're working towards that goal, if you've created the image in your mind, if you've built out a description that you can read over and over again that will help you develop that picture in your mind, I'm telling you, thoughts become things. And if you want to change your life, all you have to do is change your life. Friends, I believe in you, I care about you, and I know that if anybody can do it, you can. You're amazing. You have incredible abilities within you. Abilities that are so special and amazing that only you can share them with the world. don't deny the world the possibility of interacting with you. You're an amazing creation. You have incredible things about you. I'm going to look forward to coming back tomorrow and sharing some additional recommendations and ideas. Thanks for joining me today. Have a beautiful day, friends. Take care.